Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MSI Forge GK310 mechanical keyboard. I picked this up a couple of days ago, scrolling Amazon, like you do, and just stumbled across it. I did need a new keyboard, to be fair, so I thought I'd pick this up. So this is, I don't know how old this is from MSI, but there wasn't many reviews on Amazon for it. But for the price, which we'll get to later, I couldn't really turn it down. So I'm gonna have a quick look at this, talk about specs and everything, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll unbox it quickly. Now, obviously, there it is. Now I've opened this already, obviously to test it works. So when it arrives, it was obviously in a bag as well. It wasn't just like this in the box. Now this keyboard it's got like a little party trick, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So you get obviously the keyboard in the box. It has like a braided cable attached, quite a loose one as well, which is quite nice. Obviously you get your not manual, like sort of warranty information. Then you get a keycap puller and 3 spare 3-pin red mechanical switches, which is another nice thing to talk about because of the price, which, like I said, we will get to in a bit once we've talked about specs with this keyboard. If this box wants to stop being a bit of a knob. There we go. Now, there's a couple of things I want to get to with this board. So, like I was saying, when it comes to the cable, I like the cable. I like this loose braided cable. The only downside to the cable on this is it's not detachable. Like, it's not a USB-C or anything. So if you want a detachable cable, you'll have to look somewhere else. The switch it doesn't actually say, I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't say on MSI's website or anything like this. So I don't know if these are MSI's own switches or they are Cherry MX or Automu or a Temu or whatever they're called. But they use a red switch. I'll take this cap off in a minute, actually. And they're a really linear red switch. Now, I don't like mechanical keyboards that make the clicky sound. I find it irritating. I like quite a quiet mechanical switch. But I've been using this pretty much all day for today. It arrived this morning. And I really like these red switches. Now we're going to get to, obviously, I had one of those shorter keyboards. Was it a 75%, 85% board where you haven't got any of this, basically. But I needed a full one for playing certain things like Arma 3 and stuff like that. It's just better to have a number pad. And then you've got obviously 3, if it wants to focus, 3 macros up here that have like a fast forward, rewind, and play pause on them, but I'm guessing you can set them to whatever. And then like a volume wheel here. Now, this volume wheel here, it's set to dim and brighten or completely turn off the RGB. Or if you click it and it changes RGB mode, but I'm guessing through MSI software you can map that to do whatever you want. Now, to the party piece of this shroud, like plastic shroud, it's removable and it's magnetic. So if you notice here, like it lifts off, and then you can just remove it and you get left with this finish underneath instead, which is like a sort of, not brushed aluminium, but I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it's some form of, I think it's aluminium. It could be like a really thin piece of steel, I don't know, because it is quite a heavy keyboard. I prefer it like this, and this sort of exposes the bottom of the switches, as you can see. I do prefer it like that. That, which we will get to now, was the 2 feet on the back, which are just like sort of one sort of up down sort of height, so you can lie it flat or have it at an angle. I prefer it at an angle. So the switches, like I said, these use some form of red switch that I don't know if it's MSI's own switch or it's a Cherry MX or whatever, I don't know, but these are removable, well, hot swappable, as you can tell by the spare 3 that you get in the box. So if you want to take these out and swap it for blues, browns, whatever, as long as they're a 3-pin switch, you can just hot swap all the switches out on this board, which is nice because, believe it or not, this board I think is one of the only decent boards at this price range with hot swappable like switches. I paid £35 for this keyboard, which I think is crazy. Like £35 is so cheap, especially for a board with really nice feeling switches. Like the spacebar has, they're not amazing, but they're better than like cheap Chinese keyboards. Like it's got decent stabilizers. The enter key is obviously a UK layout enter key. That has 2 stabilizers on it as well, so it doesn't wobble top to bottom. A bit like the spacebar side. Spacebar does side to side slightly, but not massive amounts. But yeah, for the price, I don't think you can sort of go wrong with this keyboard. Like I said, it is weighty and it is annoying that the cable's not detachable. But I don't like wireless peripherals anyway because I don't like the latency. I run as you can see, a wired SteelSeries mouse. I run a wired headset. I run a wired keyboard. I think if you've got the desk room, you don't need wireless, to be honest. But each to their own. So yeah, like I said, this is obviously the magnetic plate. As you can see, it's just got little magnets around the outside. And obviously, with this being metal, it just sticks on. I don't like having this plate on, like I said. I prefer being able to see the switches. What I will do quickly now is just plug this in so you can all see what the RGB is like. And along with that, we're going to get to something that I don't like about this keyboard. So I will just connect this. You'll see it now. Okay, maybe you won't because now it's saying the device isn't recognized. There you go. So the RGB is really nice on this board. It's quite bright. This is its full brightness, and as you can see, even the wheel has RGB in it. But now, if you look, when I turn this wheel down, it dims the RGB, look, until it turns it off, and then you turn it up. When they flash, that means it's at its brightest or its lowest. Now, if you press it, you get different like modes you can cycle through for the RGB, so on and so forth. I did read another review of this keyboard that was saying something like the RGB isn't individual LEDs per switch, so you can't set them. I don't know like where they got that information from, because if you look when you remove this keycap, there is one LED under that keycap. If you look when I remove this one, there is one LED under that keycap. So using MSI Mystic Light, you will be able to program this to whatever colours you want, blah blah blah. But therein is the problem with this keyboard. I cannot stand MSI Mystic Light. I hate that program. I tried to download, what's it bloody called? I downloaded the MSI Center app to try and download Mystic Light. Mystic Light wasn't listed on the MSI Center app. Then it told me I had to register the product key, so I put the product key in off the back of the keyboard, couldn't find the product. It took me to MSI's website. I retyped in the product key, said it found it, and it registered it, but I still can't download like the Mystic app. It's just stupid. Like, I don't know whether MSI have just given up support on that or what, but I downloaded the SteelSeries one for the mouse the other day and completely fine, no problem. Downloaded, installed, pick the mouse up straight away, do what you want with it. Change your DPI, change the colour of your mouse wheel, LEDs. I don't know why MSI have to make it difficult, but like I said, that's probably the only downside I've got with this keyboard is that software is garbage. I did try to use like third-party software like OpenRGB, and it just doesn't recognize the keyboard at all for some reason. Someone said that SteelSeries software will recognize this keyboard. It doesn't. I've even tried the ASRock software that controls the RGB on my motherboard and my ARGB headers in the system. That doesn't see it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig a bit deeper to see what's going on there. But yeah, for anyone looking for a good keyboard with decent switches that are hot swappable, if you wanted to change them out, blah 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 blah. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with this board, unless obviously you want a detachable cable. Then you just have to buy something else. Now, if like we compare the size, I have my old keyboard handy, which, funnily enough, for a cheap Chinese keyboard, actually has a detachable USB. But this is my old board compared to this one, so you can see the size difference. Yeah, so obviously this has just got the number pad. This one does have the delete key and like the home key and that lot. Some I know would only like that, but I don't mind having a full-size keyboard again. I think it's handy to have. But yeah, like I said, if you're looking for a cheap keyboard around the £30–35 mark, then I'd say the Forge GK310 is good, like, to go for. Especially if you want a full-size board with a number pad and everything. Obviously that requires a bit of a bigger desk, so you've still got the mouse room. But yeah, I'll leave this video here for now, guys. We do have a couple more coming up in the next couple of days. We will have better audio quality tomorrow. I do have new microphones arriving tomorrow, which will be nice. Then the next thing to sort out is a camera. And then we have the review of my new AM5 motherboard coming up, which is the, what is it, I think it's a B650. I think it's an ASRock B650 Live mixer, the orange, like, graffitied motherboard with 23 USB slots. So yeah, a few things coming up in the next few days, so keep an eye out. But yeah, we'll leave this here for now, guys. So thanks for watching. Keep watching, liking, commenting, all the jazz for YouTube, and I will catch you all in the next video.